Hello everyone, I'm Little McGriddle. Now, well, before I get started, in case you missed the live stream last night, I was talking about what's been going on with my health. Not going to explain it in here, but if you want, you can go and check out that live stream. I also talked about what I'm going to be doing on the channel. Like, not right away though, because obviously I have to focus on school. But I am going to be continuing with Life is Strange, obviously, because that's a good game, and I want to continue playing it. I'm also going to be continuing with I Became a Dog. That there's some cool stuff that we still have to discover in that one. I'm going to be continuing, obviously, playing the Slendrina games, because there is a lot more. Plus, the first one that I was playing. What else? I also might be playing Bendy and the Ink Machine on the channel. I don't know yet, but that could be a possibility. Now, that's basically all I have to say about the last night's live stream. So anyway, I'm here again with another video of Creepypasta Jr. because Creepypasta Jr. is the greatest, and I love the videos on his channel. We're going to be checking out one called I Saw Something Terrifying in a Chuck E. Cheese's, and we all know that everybody hates Chuck E. Cheese's because it's an evil place. So I'm just going to get right into it. I don't know. Again, it's a very cool intro. I like that.
I've been working at the local Chuck E. Cheese's for a little over a year now.
Oh, good for you. I hope that's working out for you.
To sum up a Chuck E. Cheese, it's pretty much a building filled with various games and activities for children to enjoy.
Yep.
Arcade
like
machines, ball pits, even colorful tunnels that children can play and crawl around in. It's basically a nightmare for people like me.
I'm not too fond of children, to be perfectly honest.
Oh wow,
They're
okay,
kind of
lovely.
cute from a distance, but once the screaming starts, I usually want to bash my own skull in. Why would you work at a Chuck E. Cheese's if you hate children, you ask?
Yes.
Well, a few reasons, actually. One, it was one of the few places in town that was currently hiring at the time. 2, the pay was actually decent. And 3, I got to work the night shift.
Night shift is
I was
so
a
great,
nighttime
because
janitor.
you're all alone.
I would show up around the end of the day and instantly be greeted by the numerous shrieks of children. I would go to my spot in the back room and wait for the building to close before starting my work. Unless something immediately required my attention, like a kid vomiting up 100 pepperonis in the ball pit.
Gross.
That's pretty much the low end of the job.
Okay.
Throughout the night, my tasks include sweeping, vacuuming, mopping, clearing off tables, stocking napkin containers, and the like. If the children that day weren't terrible little imps, I could get my work done in about 2 hours.
Oh, nice.
One time, a kid actually climbed onto a Chuck E. Cheese robot and tried to feed him pizza.
Oh my god.
An entire pizza.
Oh, okay.
That took me a lot longer to clean. Why parents never watch their kids is beyond me.
It's beyond me as well. I don't know why.
The easy nights are the ones that make the job worth it, though. Because after I'm done, I could just kick back in the office and watch TV until my shift is over. Well, a few weeks ago, I had just finished my duties for the evening when I heard a strange noise. It sounded like a muffled thud coming from somewhere in the building.
A strange noise in a kid's...
At first, I thought it was something in the back room that had fallen over.
Pizzeria.
But when I checked the area,
similar
nothing was
FNAF.
amiss. The noise only happened once, so I thought nothing of it. A few days passed by, and this night I was cleaning pizza sauce off the ceiling. That's right, the ceiling.
Wow.
When I heard that sound again, it sounded exactly the same as the previous night, but this time it was much louder. I searched all over the darkened building, checked the arcade games, the stage, the dining area, but I couldn't find anything. I was starting to grow concerned about the noise, because if something did fall or break and I didn't take care of it, my boss would be pissed. Still coming up empty-handed, I finished my shift and went home. The following night, I didn't do any of my tasks at first. I simply set up a chair in the dining area and waited.
Well,
I'll
that's no
admit,
good.
sitting by myself in a Chuck E. Cheese's at night is pretty unsettling.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sitting in the pitch blackness, mind you, that would just be silly. Depending on the area I'm cleaning, I set the lights to dim, then turn them off when I'm finished. I would love to keep the lights on all night, but I did that once and got yelled at for it. The boss said something about electricity cost, which seemed odd to me, but I didn't question any further. You might be asking, how would he know? Security cameras. And since they are dated, and since I'm not very good at editing security footage, I just dealt with it. Anyways, I'm sitting in the dining area, and after about an hour of hearing nothing, I decided it was time to actually start working. Walking to the utility closet is when I heard the sound.
Oh.
This time it rooted me in mid-step. I knew exactly where it was coming from.
Closet?
The noise sounded from below my feet.
Oh, below your feet. What is
This
it, downstairs?
was strange because I never knew this building had a basement.
What? I don't know.
My
Chuck E. Cheese's had a
curiosity
basement.
was piqued at that point.
Now that's disturbing
So I
to
spent
think
the
about.
remainder of the night looking for the entrance to the basement.
Mm-hmm.
After looking through all the doors, I began to think that the building might just have a simple crawl space and some critter had gotten stuck under there.
Yeah.
Just as that thought crossed my mind, I passed by the skee ball and coin pusher game.
Oh.
In between the two games, I saw it.
What the?
A slight discoloration of the carpet.
Okay.
A faint square outline in one of the floor panels.
Yep, that's what you're looking for.
I was actually shocked that in all my time working there, I never once noticed it. I had vacuumed that area multiple times.
It's because we
As I made my way
overlook
over
the
to it,
simplest things.
I once again thought about the fact that my boss never mentioned it to me. Me, the janitor. Someone
well.
who should know the area so I can clean it. Upon reaching the outline in the carpet, I retrieved my trusty pocket knife and gently lifted the hatch in the floor.
Why do you have a pocket knife?
When the hatch opened, I was immediately hit with a wave of stale air. Have you ever walked into a building that had very poor ventilation?
Yeah.
Or like an attic?
Yep, I
It
have.
was like that. It wasn't necessarily a bad
Oh, hopefully
smell,
you haven't,
enough
but if
to
you
warrant
have.
a moment of acclamation.
Sorry.
Inside the hatch was a small wooden ladder that descended into the darkness. I pulled out my small LED flashlight I keep on my keychain and looked inside. The ladder went down for a few feet, and the walls were made of coarse concrete. I was beginning to feel uneasy as I looked aimlessly into the dark of the hatch.
You shouldn't be doing that. You're
Then I
gonna
heard
get
it once more.
attacked by something.
A soft thud, but this time it echoed off the concrete walls.
Oh no.
I was positive at that point that I had located the source of the noise. I climbed down the rickety wooden ladder, and the farther down I got, the more the odor of the room began to change. The staleness of the air started to take on a more metallic characteristic.
Oh.
Upon reaching the
Okay.
bottom, I
Gross.
found myself in a narrow corridor that went on for only a few feet. Making my way towards the end of the hall, I saw that it opened into a large square room. Upon stepping into the room, the scent once again changed and started to take on a foul, sour odor.
Gross.
What I saw in the room gave me chills. The walls had various symbols painted on them in a deep crimson. In the middle of the floor, there was what seemed to be a ritualistic circle of some sort, painted on the floor.
A pentagon?
Just then,
That's the right word,
movement
isn't it?
caught my eye.
Yeah, hopefully.
I shined my flashlight towards the back corner of the room. And that's when I saw it. Eyes glinting in the darkness from my flashlight.
Whew, I actually
But
got
these
chills
eyes
just
weren't
now.
alive. They
Wait.
were glossy and vacant.
Uh-huh.
They resided in the skull of a young boy. A young boy whose body was completely eviscerated. But that's not what terrified me. It was the creature feasting on his legs that caused my body to seize. I was unable to see what it looked like as it had its back to me. But it was hunched over, and its back looked reddish, like exposed muscle. Then,
A Titan?
I heard the thud once again as the creature dropped the boy's leg onto the
No,
floor.
it's not a Titan.
The
No?
thud
Okay.
echoed throughout this room.
Oh, that's creepy.
Hearing this sound snapped me out of my trance, and I realized I needed to get the hell out of there and call the police.
Yeah,
I
you
ran
do.
back through the corridor as fast as I could. And just as I reached the base of the ladder, the hatch above me slammed shut.
Oh, of course it
Panicked,
did.
I climbed up the ladder and attempted to force the hatch open. Then I heard a new noise coming from behind me.
Oh,
It sounded
no.
like shuffling. I was too terrified to aim my flashlight down the dark corridor to see what was making the sound. Instead, I frantically began punching the hatch. On my third punch, the hatch flew open and I managed to scramble my way out.
Thank
Just
God.
before I made it out, however, I could have sworn I heard something whisper.
Oh, okay.
Immediately, I kicked the hatch shut, ran outside, and called the police. About a half an hour later, they showed up along with my manager, and I explained the whole ordeal to them. They were, of course, completely skeptical of everything I told them.
Yeah, they always are.
I took them inside and showed them the hatch. But when the police investigated it, all they found was a small storage room with miscellaneous boxes and items strewn about it. The police
That's
told me
funny.
I should get some more sleep
Wow.
before coming into work.
Of course
My
there
manager
wouldn't be
scolded
anything
me
there.
after the police left and even threatened me with a drug test.
Oh,
I
my.
started to actually believe my mind fabricated the whole event. Until yesterday,
So it wasn't real.
when I was browsing the internet and came across a news article. It was about a boy who had gone missing about a few weeks ago, the
Oh my
day
God.
after his 10th birthday. As I stared at the photo in the article, I felt my throat tighten. It was the same little boy I saw in that room being devoured.
Oh
I
my
have a
God.
pretty good idea where that kid had his birthday party at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if what I saw was real or not, or if I'm actually insane. But regardless, I don't think I'm going to keep this job much longer.
No, you shouldn't. Just get rid of it.
So kids, be careful if you ever go to a Chuck E. Cheese's. And parents, always keep an eye on your children. You never know who or what could be watching them too.
Oh my. Well, you heard him. On second thought, don't even listen to what he says. Just never go to a Chuck E. Cheese's. Okay? Or any of those places because they're just not good at all. Sorry. Sides is bothering me. Okay, that was interesting. It was actually more interesting than the last one we listened to. I really like listening to these because of the stories. I like how he develops them. And yeah, okay, you probably know what I'm talking about. So I think that's it for now. Or I am going to be working on I Became a Dog today. Hopefully, there's going to be the second episode. I don't know when that's going to be coming out, but that's what I'm going to be working on today, and hopefully maybe something else, but I don't know how, I don't know what my plans are. I do have things I need to do, so I don't know what's going to happen, but for now, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, hit that button down below. And if you want to tell me what you thought of this one, and if you want to hear another one, let me know in the comments. But for now, thanks for watching, and like always, I'll catch you all in the next video. Stay awesome. Bye.